This is a very special show we've got for you right ahead of the important event, all important event, which the entire market is watching out for, and which is the union budget. This is the first budget of the new government. So there are some concerns out there whether it will be a strong one, whether it will be some amount of compulsions of a coalition government would be reflected in this or not. Which are the areas of the policy making which the government would prioritize in decision making, and how exactly would the government go about doing a balancing act there? And we've got all our reporters, bringing exclusive stories, what kind of policy making and decisions could be announced, which are the sectors which could be impacted. Basically, a sense of what is actually which lies ahead in this budget, because it's just less than a week to go. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will table union budget for this year. We've got exclusive details from all the sectors, all the key sectors, be it income tax, CAPEX, etc. Let's go now and find out what exactly is happening on the proposal of providing some relief to the common man and the taxpayers, especially at the bottom of the pyramid, which has been reeling under pressure for some time now due to high inflation. Whether some relief is expected in terms of income tax or not, and my colleague Prakash is here to talk more about it. Prakash.
Yes, we are learning from our sources that the government is likely to provide some relief to the taxpayers in the upcoming union budget. We are given to understand that new tax regime is likely to be made more attractive with the announcement of some relief measures. Sources are informing that a new tax slab may be introduced under the ambit of new tax regime in order to provide relief to the maximum taxpayers. Along with that, relief is also expected for the taxpayers earning up to Rs 5 lakh in a year. Along with that, the limit of standard deduction likely to be increased beyond Rs 50,000. In addition to that, the overall tax exemption with all benefit could be increased to Rs 9 to 9.5 lakh. So these are the specific recommendations which have been made to the Finance Ministry. The sources are informing that the government is expected to announce some of these recommendations in the forthcoming union budget. Now, coming on to capital expenditure target, sources are informing that there is no major changes which are expected in the capital expenditure target for the financial year 2025. The government is likely to continue with the capital expenditure target which was announced in the interim budget. Some minor tweaks are expected based on the ministry's demand. As you are aware that the government has allocated around Rs 11.11 lakh crore in the interim budget when it comes to capital expenditure target, which is likely to be continued. Some key sectors like railways, road transport and highways, housing, rural development are expected to get high allocation. And despite that, sources are informing that the government will maintain its fiscal discipline roadmap for the financial year 2025, which is 5.1%. The government is likely to maintain its fiscal deficit target of 5.1% or even lower for the financial year 2025 and 4.5% by financial year 2026.
Right. So there are two important points Prakash is essentially bringing in. One, the likelihood of income tax relief, higher standard deductions, etc. is possible, because it is aimed at the middle class, tax relief likely for the middle class. The idea is to leave more residual income in the hands of middle class. And if you look at in the stock market also, the consumption categories are not doing very well, because the middle class doesn't have much of residual money, cash left. So they are down trading and in some cases budgeting their expenditure. So this relief is likely to be aimed at the middle class. The other point which Prakash was actually raising was the capital or CAPEX investment. In fact, if you look at the last few years, including this interim budget, the CAPEX as a percentage of overall expenditure is only edging higher. So they may not actually make any major changes. They may continue with the higher CAPEX, which they have just announced, right? So it was hiked this time round. So even that level will be taken as positive by the market. There should not be any shrinking into that. Market is actually watching out for any holding on to the status quo on CAPEX or taking it higher will be seen as positive. And Prakash is bringing us that there could be a status quo. That is something.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.